We've got major breaking news from the WNBA. Indiana Fever standout Caitlin Clark is set to miss at least the next 2 weeks. The rising star will be sidelined, delivering a significant blow to the Fever as they navigate the season without one of their key players.
Black footage has emerged, proving how Caitlin Clark got hurt this 2025 season. Guys,
Caitlin Clark has now been officially placed on the injured reserve list, and newly surfaced footage paints a troubling picture. It clearly shows repeated instances of systematic targeting, deliberate physical contact, and officials consistently looking the other way. What's unfolding isn't just rough play. It resembles an organized effort to wear down or silence the league's biggest star. The evidence is damning, and it shines a harsh light on the WNBA's failure to protect one of its most valuable and visible players. The question now is, what accountability should fall on the players who engaged in this behavior and the referees who allowed it to happen? At the very least, there must be consequences. Ignoring this sets a dangerous precedent, not just for Clark, but for the integrity and safety of the entire league.
Behind the scenes. So pretty much the only information that we have so far about the injury itself is from Chloe Peterson. And she said Caitlin Clark's left quad strain is a new injury, I'm told. It is not related to her left quad.
Let's be clear. Caitlin Clark's quad injury isn't just bad luck or the result of normal wear and tear. This was a long time coming, an outcome of nearly 2 years of unchecked physicality and escalating aggression. And the most disturbing part? The WNBA hasn't just failed to step in, they've effectively allowed it to happen by refusing to protect their most high-profile player. The footage we're about to break down tells the story in brutal detail. It's hard to watch. What we're seeing isn't just tough defense. It's a sustained pattern of targeted harassment masked as competitive play. And through it all, the league has remained silent. That silence speaks volumes, and it raises serious questions about how far the WNBA is willing to go or not go to safeguard the athletes who are driving its growth.
I know afterwards, we got a message that she had something going on with her leg, and they were getting an MRI, and then we got the alert yesterday.
Was it after the Liberty game on Saturday?
Is that her last game?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Atlanta Dream game, where it all went wrong. The turning point in the Caitlin Clark narrative came not with a buzzer beater or a record-setting performance, but with a game that exposed the worst tendencies in the WNBA, specifically the Atlanta Dream matchup. While much of the media and social platforms focused on the crowd's hostile "You're in Atlanta" chants, a deeper, more troubling issue played out on the court. Frame-by-frame analysis of the footage reveals a pattern of excessive physicality, aggressive defensive tactics, and, frankly, a disturbing lack of officiating accountability. Clark wasn't merely being defended. She was being physically targeted. From jersey pulls during fast breaks to shoulder bumps and borderline wrestling holds on screens, it was clear the Dream's goal wasn't to stop Clark with skillful basketball, but to wear her down physically. Ryan Howard was at the center of this approach, standing uncomfortably close during free throws, applying relentless pressure during inbounds, and initiating contact on virtually every possession. This wasn't tenacious defense. This was systematic. Harassment designed to frustrate and exhaust. The involvement of Brittany Griner, though more subtle, added an alarming dynamic. Griner, with a significant physical advantage, was seen initiating contact unnecessarily, using her body in ways that defy sound basketball fundamentals. In moments where the play dictated backing off, Griner instead leaned in, making her presence felt not through skill but through sheer physical force. These weren't isolated moments of physicality. They were coordinated tactics designed to exploit Clark's smaller frame. This leads to a key coaching decision that, until recently, went largely unnoticed. Stephanie White's move to reduce Clark's ball-handling responsibilities. At the time, the decision was framed as a strategic shift. However, when viewed in the context of Clark's visible wear and tear, it becomes clear White was trying to shield her star from the punishing contact she was absorbing. You don't bench your top scorer and playmaker without reason. White saw what the officials ignored. Her franchise player was being systematically broken down. Critics of White's coaching adjustments owe her an apology. Far from being a tactical misstep, those decisions may have preserved Clark from an even more serious injury. But the breaking point came during the New York Liberty game. Though White publicly tied Clark's injury to that contest, the deterioration of Clark's health had been evident for several games prior. Her shooting numbers dipped, her mobility decreased, and her confidence in driving the lane clearly diminished. These aren't symptoms of a sudden injury. They are signs of an athlete enduring ongoing, unchecked physical abuse. Athletes don't just lose their edge overnight. They wear down. They protect themselves. Clark's mechanics hadn't collapsed due to poor practice habits or mental lapses. They eroded because her body was under siege. Her movement was altered, her confidence was shaken, and her performance reflected the cost of sustained, uncalled contact. The Liberty game wasn't the cause. It was the final straw. And now, let's address the elephant in the arena, the officiating. The referees in these games haven't just missed a few calls. They have systematically failed to enforce the rules of the game. The evidence is extensive. Repeated fouls that go uncalled, jersey tugs, shoves, and hand checks that would earn immediate whistles in men's basketball or even in other WNBA games. Yet when it comes to Clark, there's a baffling double standard. Officials who are otherwise strict suddenly become blind. This isn't about giving a rookie superstar preferential treatment. This is about protecting players from injury and maintaining the integrity of the sport. Allowing Clark to be singled out and battered without consequence sends a dangerous message. It tells teams that if you want to neutralize a transcendent player, you don't need strategy, just aggression. Forget defensive schemes. Just push, pull, and hit until they can't function. This problem isn't confined to one team or one incident. It fits into a disturbing pattern of how Clark has been treated since she entered the league. From the Kennedy Carter incident last season to repeated flagrant fouls disguised as tough defense, Clark has been the target of a campaign to physically break her spirit. And the league's response? Shrugs, platitudes about playoff intensity, and an insistence that this is just part of professional basketball. But let's be clear. What Clark is enduring isn't normal. NBA stars like Stephen Curry, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James deal with aggressive defense, yes, but they are also protected when defenders cross the line. In Clark's case, the officials seem determined not to see the line at all. It has taken a visible toll. Watch her recent games and you'll see the change in her body language. She's not attacking the basket like she used to. She's avoiding contact, altering shots, passing when she would normally drive. And yet, instead of concern, many fans have mocked her performance, claiming she's overrated or too soft. They fail to recognize what's really happening. A talented player is being worn down not by competition, but by abuse. The irony is painful. The WNBA has built much of its recent marketing push around Caitlin Clark's star power. She's drawn record crowds, boosted TV ratings, and brought new fans to the game. But when it came time to protect their investment, the league failed spectacularly. You can't put someone on every billboard, then allow them to be brutalized on the court. This isn't just bad optics. It's business malpractice. Clark's absence from the court is about to have serious financial repercussions. Ticket sales for fever games will drop. Broadcast viewership will decline. Social media engagement, merchandise sales, and media coverage will all take a hit. The league is about to find out what it looks like to sideline its biggest star. The implications go further. For young college stars contemplating the WNBA, this situation sends a chilling message. If the league won't protect Caitlin Clark, what hope is there for anyone else? Why risk your body and career in a league that values toughness over talent? Silence over accountability? Fans, too, bear some responsibility. Instead of demanding better officiating, many have cheered the targeting of Clark under the guise of tough defense. They argue that she needs to toughen up, completely ignoring the obvious line between contact and assault. By defending these tactics, these fans are enabling the very behavior that is sidelining elite talent. And yet, these same fans lament the lack of star power and marketability. You can't have it both ways. If you want stars, you have to protect them. What makes this all so tragic is how preventable it was. The signs were there. The footage is there. The proof is undeniable. Clark's injury wasn't a freak accident. It was the inevitable result of a league turning a blind eye to targeting. And now the WNBA must face a critical question. What kind of league does it want to be? Does it want to be a legitimate professional sports league where talent is nurtured, protected, and elevated? Or does it want to be a glorified brawl where physical intimidation takes precedence over skill? The answer will define the league's credibility moving forward. If the WNBA continues to pretend that systematic targeting is normal, it will lose its standing as a serious professional organization. But if it uses this moment to confront its officiating failures and implement real changes, it has a chance to build something sustainable and worthy of the talent it boasts. As of now, the silence is damning. Clark's injury is more than a player getting hurt. It's a referendum on how the WNBA treats its stars, its commitment to fair play, and its willingness to evolve. The path forward isn't easy, but it's necessary. Because what happened to Caitlin Clark didn't just damage a player, it exposed everything that's broken in the league.